There's been lots of talk this year about the arrival of high value, that's code word for low price sleds in model year 2021. On this week's test ride, we're going to take a close look at the leader of the pack in this emerging new segment. So why have I knighted the new Ski-Doo MXZ Sport as the leader in the high-value segment? Because the Ski-Doo Sport isn't making any excuses about its target audience. The Sport can play all day with 600cc sleds. Why? Because it has a torquey, liquid-cooled 600cc Rotax under hood, and the whole package is based on the full-on G4 chassis, used on all upscale Ski-Doo models. Maybe you're wondering why these details matter. They matter a lot. Even though the Sport is at the high end of the MSRP equation, you get exactly what you pay for. Here's my point. The other competitors in this emerging category are the Polaris Indy Evo, the Yamaha SX Venom, and the Arctic Cat Blast 4000. All these sleds represent excellent value, and all of them have MSRPs lower than the Sport 600. Here's where you have to get out your calculator. The MXZ Sport's 600cc reed valve EFI engine throws down a healthy 85 horsepower. That's a full 20 ponies more than any of its competitors, and believe you me, it makes much more than an inconsequential difference. Listen up, my oil-injected friends. The MXZ Sport can pull its weight and your corn-fed frame down a lake at impressive speeds. This means the Sport is a truly credible ride for any snowmobiler, whether experienced or a newbie. The Sport's 85 horsepower output is oh so close to Ski-Doo's Rotax Ace 4-stroke triple. As a result, the Sport is capable of carving a smile in your whiskery visage every time you squeeze the loud handle. We would rate its performance as more than adequate on lake runs and very good on trails. You won't be the last sled to the end of the lake when you show up with a new MXZ Sport 600. Okay, so you're picking up what I'm putting down here, right? The other guys' high-value sleds are good, but they just don't have the legs to keep up with the 600R Sport. 85 horsepower trumps 65 horsepower every time. We've spent enough time on the new MXZ Sport this winter to know owners won't get bored with the performance of this ride. In fact, there's good reason to believe a Sport 600 may occupy the same place in the snowmo market that the much heralded Spark Sea-Doo PWC owns. What do I mean? The Sport 600 may be all the snowmobile a significant number of riders ultimately want. Standard equipment is not sparse here. There's a digital gauge set, heated thumb and grips, electric start, and steel body gas bag shocks. Although the seat looks small, it is comfortable. Up front, there's Ski-Doo's RAS AA-arm IFS. And yes, in case you think we missed the point, we know that the 600R Sport is at the high end of the MSRP scale. However, it is way, way lower than an MXZ 600R Adrenaline. There's more splainin required surrounding the Sport. The rear suspension is fully reminiscent of what Ski-Doo referred to as SC5 before the arrival of R-Motion. This coupled 121-inch rear skid was the benchmark for trail riding smoothness in the OOs. In the new Sport, ride quality benefits from a 129-inch rail. Honestly, the sled rides remarkably well. Sure, R-Motion is the best rear skid in the biz, but this return engagement for the SC Series skid does not disappoint. So, how does Ski-Doo jam this much performance and this much value into a sub-$10,000 MSRP in the US? It's called economies of scale, and it goes like this. Okay, who builds and sells the most snowmobiles in this biz? Ski-Doo does. Because Ski-Doo works to get as many of their different models onto a common platform as quickly as possible, they enjoy considerable cost savings at a level the other OEMs can't duplicate. Essentially, Ski-Doo can leave the big switch on the wall at the end of the production line in the on position and crank out some more G4 600 Rotax variants and enjoy reduced costs because they're good at building a lot of snowmobiles every year. We've fielded questions from our viewers about bumping up the power on the 600 Sport by substituting a set of 600R E-Tech cylinders. Not a good idea. The Sport's 600 Rotax is dimensionally the same as the 600R used in all other Ski-Doo G4 models. However, it is not E-Tech direct injected. This engine uses a new, not seen before, throttle body EFI system. Here's the other issue. This Rotax 600 does not have exhaust valves. Fiddling with the Sport to increase power output will ultimately cost as much, if not more, than simply bellying up to the counter and buying a full-on MXZ 600R Adrenaline. So here's our proclamation. The new Sport 600 represents the most value you can get from your hard-earned Snowmo dollar in model year 2021.
If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you click that like button. And we upload new content every week, so if you don't want to miss out on any of that stuff, make sure you subscribe so you get notifications whenever something new pops up.